RVers are a mixed bag now more than ever before, and the largest contributing factor to this is the abundance and availability of mobile internet. It has really changed the face of who a traditional RVer is. And whether they're part-time or full-time, cellular internet makes working from the road a possibility. This means if you're on a family vacation and you just need to check your email, or if you're working a 9 to 5 as a remote worker full-time in your RV, having that cellular connectivity at your fingertips makes both of those scenarios possible. With all that said though, the traditional RVer profile is still going strong. It'll be the first profile we study today, and we call those RVers active seniors. In most cases, the active senior has worked and saved for many years to become a retiree and travel the USA. And while they travel in all sorts of RVs, the most common RV type that an active senior will travel in is a large motorhome. They love to explore nature, but they also love the high-end amenities of RV resorts and nice large RVs. Even when they're traveling, they long for a community experience. This is one reason why active seniors love RV resorts. There are community activities there, they have pickleball courts, and they offer public spaces for socializing. Connecting to the community is a large part of what active seniors want in their travels. Some of them even camp specifically at 55 and over RV parks so they can socialize with very much like-minded travelers. Here are some of the tools that are most important to active seniors as they RV. First is RV trip routing. Because they have large motorhomes, it's really important for this profile of RVers to get from point A to point B safely. This means not going under any bridges that are too low, any mountain passes that are too steep, and an RV trip routing tool can help guide them to the RV park in the safest manner possible. Another important tool for them are Wi-Fi or cell boosters. Even though they might not be working from the road, these cell boosters will help them stay connected with family, help them stay up to date with the news, and not have to rely on, say, campground or public Wi-Fi signals. And really, these active seniors long for smart and automated RVs. This means they want automated landing gear that will level their RVs automatically so they don't have to worry about it. They want a control panel system in their RV that controls the lights, the locks, and it can pull the awning in and out, really just giving them the luxury and convenience of not having to do any extra work and just enjoy being retired and being in nature. They've worked and saved for many years, and now they just want to enjoy traveling. That is the profile that we call the active senior. The next profile we'll study is the digital nomad. And digital nomads are really becoming more popular these days. I mean, now more than ever before, because a lot of people are working remotely. There's a whole new group of digital nomads that are discovering the freedoms of RV travel while they work from the road. And quite simply, what defines a digital nomad is that they make a living on the internet, and this allows them to travel as much as they like. The jobs for digital nomads can range from a traditional 9 to 5 where they're working for a large corporation with benefits and with a retirement plan, and they have to show up for work every day, but they show up for work remotely in their RV with that cellular connection. The other end of the spectrum are freelancers. It could be a freelance graphic designer, a freelance computer programmer, really anyone that picks up jobs as they go and works on their own time with really project-based work rather than typical hours for a 9 to 5. Often, digital nomads are a younger demographic, and they're very comfortable with new technology. Being adaptable and learning new technology is really essential for digital nomads. And the one thing all of digital nomads have in common is that internet connectivity is essential. They have to have internet connectivity. So a tool like a cell booster or a Wi-Fi booster is a must for these travelers. Sometimes they stay closer to urban areas if they want to make sure that they have connectivity, but they can also be camping off grid as long as they have the right tools and do the right front-end research. Overall, digital nomads are a very adventurous bunch, and they typically enjoy camping off-grid. Camping at RV parks is usually the least attractive option for digital nomads, as they want to hike, bike, and explore on their free time. The income level can vary greatly for digital nomads. So some travel in a converted van or a teardrop trailer, and others travel in a large fifth wheel. It really runs the spectrum of what a digital nomad travels in. And like digital nomads, the next profile we're going to talk about is a rapidly growing segment of RVers as well, and that is the RVing family. Families are discovering that RV life is an economical and safe way to travel right now. A large number of Americans that are buying RVs right now during this time are family RVers. They're typically millennials or Gen Xers, and the trips they take can range from a weekend to a month, and traditional campgrounds are the camping location of choice. These offer families easy access to national parks and state parks. They encourage activities like campfires, family hiking, and an opportunity to disconnect from the internet. Unlike the previous profiles we mentioned, the RVing families take this opportunity to connect as a family rather than just stay connected to the internet the whole trip. Camping off-grid can happen with family RVers, but it's typically in much smaller doses, because having water and power connections make family travel a lot more comfortable. If you're traveling with 4 or 5 people, water can run out pretty quickly and the sewer tanks can fill up pretty quickly. So having at least partial connections or partial hookups can be a big benefit for these families. Some of the most popular pieces of gear and tools that family RVers enjoy are quality camping chairs, a propane fire pit, outdoor games, and roadside assistance. You can see that this gear is a lot different from the previous profiles we studied. It's more based around that communal bonding time of a family rather than getting work done or living a luxurious RV life. And over the next few years, the RV family profile is expected to grow more and more because it is a new way that people are discovering to travel economically and experience nature together. And the last profile we'll study today is called the avid off-grid camper, or the boondocker. The avid off-grid camper longs for solitude and freedom, and they almost exclusively boondock. This means they never have water, power, or sewage connections. And because of that, they have a lot of different needs than the previous profiles we talked about. Instead, they learn how to manage their self-sustain systems, and they typically stay at a location for 2 weeks before they break camp and dump their waste and refill their fresh water. Now, power is essential for these off-grid campers. Sometimes they use solar panels, generators, or a combination of both. Using these tools, it gives them the convenience of power without the need for a cord that you're going to get at a campground or a RV park. And some of the most important tools for off-grid campers are solar power. Also, auxiliary tanks for waste or for water. Having an extra tank where you can either empty your waste at a campsite or bring in more fresh water can really help extend the stays of an off-grid camper. Many avid off-grid campers also like cell boosters because they want to stay connected, but there's also some of them that want no connectivity at all. But I would say cell boosters are pretty common among almost every profile of campers. And lithium batteries are really coveted when it comes to off-grid campers because they're more compatible for off-grid applications. Lithium batteries can be used and abused a lot harder and allow for energy to be stored much more quickly. The avid off-grid camper rarely stays at an RV park or a state park. Their entire mission is to get off-grid, to have peace and quiet and maximum freedom away from the rest of society. Those are the 4 profiles that we see most often out there RVing, and they're not necessarily all exclusive. There can be a lot of overlap of these profiles, but understanding these profiles can really help us understand better the needs of each of these campers and how we can deliver the best resources to them and anticipate their needs.